Come make a 90s inspired sun cookie with me. This is part of a celestial set that has a sun, moon, and star cookie. You're going to get started with a blue outline. So this is kind of like a navy muted dark blue. And you're going to want to outline the cookie more than once. The reason why I outline 2, 3, 4 times is so that I can have a really solid edge on my cookie, and it helps prevent or dissuade the rest of my icing from overflowing off of my cookie. Now, the other thing that I do with this one specifically is to just kind of put a hole in the center. We're going to add a lot of extra yellow icing onto this cookie, and so to not have too much icing on the end of this cookie, a lot of people are constantly commenting that there's too much icing on cookies. In an effort not to do that, we're leaving a hole in the center. And then I'm just using the same blue icing. You notice I didn't change piping bags or anything to just fill in this kind of donut shape on my cookie. I'm going to come in with a scribe. This can be a toothpick, a wooden skewer. I am using what is officially called a scribe. It's metal. It has a handle on the end. I bought like a pack of 20 on Amazon, I don't know, 8 years ago at this point, and I think I maybe still have 5. I don't know where they go. They're kind of like bobby pins. They just kind of disappear. And I'm spreading out my icing so I can have a consistent layer and all of the gaps between my outline and my flood center fill-in space are filled in. And I like shaking my cookie. This kind of flattens everything out. And then I am just correcting the outside. If anything looks like it's about to flow over, I take my scribe flat against the outside and kind of scrape it. And this helps get that extra icing from flowing over. Now I'm coming in with my yellow and I'm struggling to make a circle in the middle. Thankfully, this does not need to be perfect. The design that inspired these cookies were not lovely, geometric, wonderful designs. They were very much hand drawn, and so that's the inspiration. So these do not need to be perfect circles. Now, the circle I made was very much struggling. It was struggling to look like a circle. So make fun of it all you want, and then try it yourself and see how hard it is to pipe a circle, because it's hard. Anywho, I'm just filling in all of this so I don't have any of the blue coming through, and then I'm going to take my scribe and very lightly on top of this yellow, because this yellow is on top of the blue. We don't want the blue peeking out. I'm just going to move the icing around a little bit so I can have a little bit better of a circle shape. That's the great thing about the icing. This particular hybrid icing, it's not a line, it's not a flood. You can shape and move how you want it to. Now we're going to come back in and make the actual sun design. And the first step is creating these elongated triangles. Now we're just doing kind of arrow shapes. We're not finishing off that triangle because the sun is. And the way I'm doing this is creating 4 different ones directly across from one another. So kind of think north, south, east, west, so that I can evenly distribute these arrows around the sun. And then between each of these sections, I'm adding another one. And you want to be careful not to have the ends of these triangles touch one another. I did that on my first sun cookie, and then I looked at it at the end and I was like, this looks off. So learn from my mistake. Don't do that. See if you can peep that cookie at the end of this video. And once you create all of those triangles, all of those arrows, you're just going to go in and fill them in. So we don't want that blue peeking through. Now, I say that, but I actually think having a little bit of the blue peek through looks cute. You make your own design choice. But there's no kind of rhyme or reason to how to do this. You can see my icing kind of came out a little bit too strong there, and so I just plopped it right in the middle of that yellow sun, so I didn't have to deal with it. But I'm just kind of doing lines, maybe a similar shape back and forth, making it a little bit smaller as I go till I fill that in. And then I'm not even coming in with my scribe to try and like settle, quote unquote settle that icing, because it's roughly going to settle relatively on its own. Maybe at the end I'll shake the whole cookie so that it can all settle and meld together a little bit better. But we're going to go through and fill in each of those 8 sun rays That's what those arrows, that's what I should be calling those arrows. They are rays of the sun. So I'm on the last one, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect. If you look at that first one we did, it's almost settled entirely. And I see a couple of bits where the blue's peeking through. And then you're gonna come back with your yellow, and you're gonna do these like squiggle rays in between each of these triangle rays. And it might not be as easy as it may look to get the exact shape that you're wanting. Personally, I'm watching this and I can feel exactly how it felt when I was decorating this of like, oh, this is, my icing is not cooperating how I thought it would because these curves are kind of hard with a piping bag. That's just straight up. They're a little bit more difficult with the piping bag. So I'm just gonna shake the cookie a little bit, get everything settled just a little bit more than it originally was. And there is the sun cookie as part of the larger celestial 90s inspired cookie set.